Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kudlow. I'm Larry Kudlow. So we begin. What did they hide, and when did they hide it? Key Democratic committees, House Ways and Means and Senate Finance, are marking up massive, unheard-of spending and taxing plans right now, as we speak. But they're not telling the public what they're really up to. So the answer to what did they hide and when did they hide it is they're hiding it right now. But information is starting to leak out on some of the specifics. There's no question that Democrats want this $3.5 trillion reconciliation, which is really going to be over $5 trillion. They want to avoid public scrutiny, and they want to roll rapidly through both houses just to get it done. Now, some say it's going to be a 10,000-page bill, and literally no one is going to know what's in it. I mean, come on. I remember on this show a month or so back when Senator Shelley Moore Capito, who was a friend, when I asked her if she read the 2,000-page infrastructure bill, she kind of smiled and said, well, she got through about half of it. And she was one of my great Senate hopes that actually might read it and even know what's going on in the second half of the bill. No way. This one, 10,000 pages worth, no one's going to know. Trust me, not before, during, or after. It will take years to figure this out. And that's just the specifics. In terms of the negative economic consequences, we're not going to know for many years after that. That's the problem with these things. Joe Manchin's idea to pause the process is a very good one if he sticks to it. His track record on that is not fabulous, but we give him the benefit of the doubt. Hope springs eternal. Now, there's such a thing in Congress as regular order. Got it? Follow me on this, please. Stay right here. Regular order. Know what that means? Simply, it means even in highly partisan bills, normal process is an open markup to thoroughly examine and debate key proposals. Policy experts on both sides of the aisle usually testify in open session to discuss these massive new programs. It's a time-honored tradition, regular order. After the public testimonies, members then go back and they discuss, and then they vote inside the committee, and then they bring it to the floor of the Senate. But this is not happening. Instead, Democrats are hiding the policies, foregoing any discussions, and avoiding even scorecards from the CBO and the Joint Tax Committee. But that scoring will eventually come out, believe me. The reconciliation instructions originally, they explicitly called for deficit reduction by not less than $1 trillion over the 10-year period, 2022 to 2031. Actually, it should be 2022 to 2031. That's right. Just want to get those numbers right. Now, trust me, there will be nowhere near $1 trillion in deficit reduction. Believe it. Instead, there's going to be significant deficit increases. And that's even with the largest tax hike in over 50 years. Republican senators on the Finance Committee just issued a press release calling for a full and open markup. Well, don't hold your breath. Now, I don't want this process issue, as important as it is, to obscure the unprecedented cradle-to-grave spending increases that are in store. This is going to generate an unprecedented high social safety net. Expanding Medicare and Medicaid, expanding funding for child care, universal pre-K, expanded refundable tax credits paid monthly, food stamps, school nutrition, free community college, income supplements, workforce training. This amounts to an unprecedented dependency on government welfare, right? Government welfare and far-left progressive planning schemes. I just think of it as go woke, go broke. Nice and simple. Go woke, go broke. It's redistribution on a grand scale. Take it from Peter and pay to Paul. We used to laugh at all that. When workfare was introduced by Clinton and Gingrich 25 years ago, we thought this kind of left-wing wish list stuff would never come to pass again. Workfare worked. The economy flourished. But this is no workfare. Nothing in this bill is workfare, and there's no work. In fact, if you take the R out of work, you have woke. No, I got to put an E in there, I get it, but it still works. It's still woke. As our next guest, the great Art Laffer, has pointed out many times, redistribution damages both sides. Those who succeed get penalized, and those who depend on welfare lose all initiative to work. The economy suffers, and speaking of economics suffering, all right, hang on to your hats. The list of tax hikes being hidden by the tax committees, though starting to leak out today, is truly unbelievable. Now, of course, we knew the centerpiece policies: corporate taxes, international taxes, capital gains taxes, individual taxes, small business taxes, estate taxes. All that stuff's been out there for quite a while. That's bad enough. A tax assault on business and investment, which, of course, will cripple the economy, will also generate higher inflation. And it'll be paid for mainly by the blue-collar middle-class workforce. But wait, there's much more. The fun is just beginning. In a desperate revenue search, the Senate Finance Committee is looking at a stock buyback tax, a corporate alternative minimum tax, a tax on so-called high executive salaries, a tax on CEO pay disparity, a tax on unrealized capital gains, a tax on carried interest, an end to the 20% small business deduction, a tax on estate planning, limits to active business losses, a tax on so-called mega retirement accounts, new bank reporting requirements for all depository inflows and outflows, a plastic excise tax, a carbon tax, a fossil fuel tax, and what will amount to an international tariff on carbon emissions. Now, that's a nice list. The sum total of all this will be to inflict major damage on the economy and the middle-class workforce and investors and consumer price hikes. Leading economic models have already scored this. But now the Democrats are adding to the tax damage. Now, of course, that doesn't include additional measures that will be hidden in a 10,000-page bill. I don't know what all they're going to be like. No one's going to know. Illegal immigration amnesty, unionization, the so-called PRO Act, voting rights, federalization of the voting rights. Lord knows what else will be in this. And, of course, don't forget the Green New Deal. Now, this is the Democratic wish list to transform America by exponentially raising the welfare state and exponentially punishing the productive side of the economy. This is a transparent effort to give big government socialism a humongous boost and bury free enterprise capitalism. If and when all these details get out to the public, believe me, the vast majority of Americans are going to hate this. The vast majority of Americans favor free market capitalism and oppose big government socialism. But that's precisely why the Democrats are doing as much as they can to hide these policies and get the legislation passed before anybody could possibly get through reading the first 500 pages, let alone the last 9,500. It's not good. Maybe we can stop it.